an amazing run. And you have to say it like that, amazing. Because there's just no other way to describe it. Okay? Last night, I was at a Christmas party. And it was like, dress up as your favorite Christmas character. So I went as the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2. So it's the end of the year, almost end of the school year, and or semester, and we're all excited and whatnot. I wasn't planning to drink, but then it just happened. Probably 9 drinks total, alcoholic drinks, and you know, within like a 4-hour period. So I mean, I wasn't drunk or anything, but I was definitely intoxicated. So, you know, and all I did, you know, at the party, like, played games, drank a bunch of alcohol, and ate cookies, holiday cookies. That's it. Okay. So when I got home, I was like, oh, I felt all bloated, you know, and I stepped on the scale, which is a big mistake. I wish I didn't even have a scale, because I step on that thing like neurotically, like all the time, and I gained so much weight from, I think it was just all like the fluid accumulation from all the beers, all the water and stuff. So I was like, oh my god, like, how can I go to bed like this? I can't just, I was tired, but I was like, how can I just go to bed when I weigh like a ton, you know? I was like, no way, no way. And I also, yesterday I was so busy with all these presentations and tests I had to do yesterday that I didn't have a chance to work out. So I said, okay, I didn't get the workout, and I drank, and I feel bloated, and I'm really heavy. I'm going for a guilt run, and I don't care, you know, how drunk I am or whatever. So, I mean, I've gone on like drunk runs before, but usually only like a mile, 2 miles. So this was going to be my farthest, you know, booze run, I guess you could say. So I started off, okay, you know, I didn't feel like running. I was like, you ever had that where you're kind of disconnected from your body, but not in a good way. It's just kind of like you're running, and you just feel like all your limbs, everything is like out of control. Like you feel like you're probably running really weird. So I ran the first mile in 7 minutes, and you know, I wasn't tired, but I didn't feel that great. And the whole time my stomach's like churning from all the fluid. My second mile was 7:04, and then at that point, right after that second mile, I'm not joking, I had this feeling come over me, like inside, that was like, go harder, push it, you know. And it wasn't even like it wasn't like I had to put any effort towards going harder. It was like, you know, instead of having that voice that tells you to quit, I was having that voice that told me to keep going. It was like, you know, anyway, so I kept running. I didn't know if it was going to be runner's high. I just felt better, so I kept going. And then my next mile was, I wrote them down, my next mile was 6:52, so not very much faster, but, you know, still good. Okay, and then my next mile was 6:28, and then my 5th mile was 6:35, and that's when I got back to the house. And as I'm coming around the house, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm starting to feel really good. I kind of wanted to keep going and ride out this high and see, you know, kind of what happened. You know, would runner's high just completely take over for 5 more miles, or would the evil alcohol prevail? And there's only one way to find out, to keep running and see how the story unfolds. So I decided to go past my house, go for another 5-mile loop. Okay, so my 6th mile was 6:41. Okay, and then during my 7th mile, okay, I already was like getting this feeling. It was kind of like runner's high, and it was like this tug-of-war match between runner's high and then just all the alcohol and toxins, because, you know, I'd feel kind of nauseous from the alcohol and full in my stomach, but then the runner's high would be like, keep going, keep going. Like, I felt like someone behind me was just pushing me, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't slow down. I just kept getting faster and faster, and my pace would fluctuate all the time. You know, I'd sprint up a hill, and then I'd feel like nauseous, and I'd slow down, and but then 10 seconds later I'd speed up. Like, I could not like stop or go on a slow pace. Like, I just wanted to keep going. And you know, my heart was you know, pounding like Travis Barker on the drums, you know, and my legs were warm, you know, I started to be able to feel my legs from under me, you know, I wasn't disconnected anymore, I was like in tune, you know, I felt focused, and, you know, it was like the alcoholic coma that I was under was just wearing off, you know, and I actually felt like I was in the middle of a serious run, and I just kept pushing it, and then my 7th mile was 6:29, okay, my 8th mile was 6:20, okay, get this, my 9th mile felt like a blur, okay, I ran a 5:59, and then my last mile, I ran 5:45, and what the crazy thing is that last 2 miles, both sub 6, I didn't feel tired at all. Like when I finished, I could have kept going, and it felt like I could have kept going at that pace. You know, I don't know what the actual truth to that is, but I felt like fatigue didn't exist. You know, and like there's no factor to slow me down. I felt like it was just I could go as fast as I wanted to, and I honestly didn't even feel like I was running. I didn't feel my feet hit the ground. The only reminder I had that I was even running was my shadow in front of me, because it didn't feel like my feet were hitting the ground at all. And I felt so fast that like the breeze, you know, just blowing in my face was like so intense that it seemed like it was only the kind of breeze that you would get if you achieve, you know, speeds of 20 miles an hour. Like it just felt really fast. Overall, it was a 6:32 pace for 10 miles. You know, I was intoxicated. I was full. I didn't wait 3 hours after whatever. You know, I didn't have any sort of rule. Like, okay, I gotta make sure that I don't get a cramp. I just went out and ran. And when I got home, I stepped in the scale, and I lost 6 pounds of water weight. So I felt good. I was back to like an acceptable weight. So it was nice, and I have no hangover right now. So yeah, just shows you like runner's high is no joke. It is powerful, so powerful it can overcome the effects of alcohol. I think that if other people gave running a chance, you know, they committed, just seriously committed, you know, a few months of hard training, you know, they would start to notice that running would become easier. The act of running, the mechanics, the motions of running would become more natural, easier. But you could still, you know, push it harder to get that same thrill and feeling the satisfaction that you pushed it hard. But you know, when people say that they hate running, I don't take it offensively. I don't take it personally, because I know that it's just ignorance. They're ignorance talking. Because I think that, you know, if I can get this kind of feeling, you know, there's nothing special about me. You know, and if I can get this kind of feeling from running, then I feel like anyone can. Okay? And if everyone did, they would be like, holy shit, running is addictive. You know, not every run will feel like this, but, you know, I'm telling you, these kind of runs are just, they make all the hard training worth it, because you just see how powerful you really are. And it's kind of scary too, in a good way, but kind of scary because you wonder, like, how come I didn't feel tired when I finished? You know, how much farther could I have gone at that pace? You know, could I have set like a 5K PR if I kept running? Because I just kept going faster and faster. Like, it's just the kind of things you wonder, like, what determines running success? I mean, it's got to be more than just physical, because how was I able to run that with alcohol in my system? You know, and not feel tired or anything. It's like, is it mental? Is it, I don't know. It's just weird. But sometimes you can have a good attitude and you still have a bad run. So it's like, what is it? I don't even know. But a lot of people, you know, a lot of people that have commented on my runner's high video, which if you haven't seen it, it's right here. You know, a lot of people say, oh, how do you get runner's high? I've never gotten it. Or what do you think, what kind of steps can you take to increase your odds of getting runner's high? And, you know, I've noticed that the most often times I get runner's high is, one, the conditions are favorable. So it can't be too hot. You know, the best time really is night running. Starting off a little bit slower. Usually you have to run negative split. Not always, but it does help. Um, Another thing is just let it come to you. You know, you don't have to like start pushing, but oh, do I have runner's high? Can I run harder and not get tired? Like it naturally just comes over you. At least for me, naturally it just happens, and I naturally just pick it up because my body feels good and tells me to keep going. That's all it is. Like, but once you realize that you're picking it up by a lot without noticing it or without trying, then that's when you just have full control of yourself. And it's almost like I feel like I'm controlling someone else. Like I'm controlling a pro athlete, and I get to feel what it's like to run like them. And I know it's an exaggeration. Like 5:45 is not that fast compared to a pro. You know, they can run marathons faster, but I felt crazy fast. And that's really the importance of running. It's not what other people think, it's what you think. And it's not always an objective thing, you know. If you feel good about your run, even if the time doesn't reflect it, if you feel good about your run, if you feel like you tried your best and you felt fast when you were running and you know you had fun doing it, or you felt satisfied, then that's important. That's everything right there. So you know, I felt really fast, and that's all that matters. You know, it was great, and you know, it's the first time I was like drunk and high at the same time. Another thing about getting runner's high is I feel like you have to care about running or care about what you're doing in your workout. You know, if you don't want to run and your whole time you're just like, this sucks, like you're not going to get runner's high, you know. You have to have the good attitude to put you in the right frame of mind. You know, and you know, every mile you do, when you just like, oh yeah, cool, I've already done 3 miles, oh yes, 4 miles, and then your pace, like, oh my gosh, I'm going really fast, this is awesome. Like, I just feel like just maintaining those positive vibes just helps immensely. But it was amazing. And I'm wearing this shirt today. My feet hurt from kicking so much ass. Because let's face it, I kick ass.